live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. This is Runway DFW in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Well, hello. Things aren't going too well this morning so far. I have a feeling this is going to be an interesting broadcast. My name is Walt. I am looking at this screen from underneath a shower curtain, if you can believe it, and I don't know why that's there. That should not be there. Hang on, folks. Let's see if this works. Okay, that's a little better. It's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? I've lost track of all time. It's Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. My name is Walt. We are at a, it's not exactly raining, but it's not exactly not raining, DFW Airport this morning. You are looking there at the UPS cargo hub. Again, my head is poked underneath a shower curtain, which is trying to keep the rain off of our electronic gear. Let's see if camera 2 is working. See, there's an airplane. Let's see if camera 2 can get in focus here. I don't know if it can. Okay, so the situation is that it's misting, kind of, but enough to make things kind of difficult. Also, the planes are landing at the other end of the airport and taking off from the other end, from the south end. We're at the north end. And so, Walt, why are you complaining so much? I'm just trying to get this aligned a little bit so you can see what's going on here. It's been a pretty rough couple of days here at DFW Airport as far as takeoffs and departures and delays and planes that were landing here that weren't supposed to land here, and planes that were supposed to land here going somewhere else. So it's just been kind of crazy. So most of my time in the last 45 minutes has been spent trying to keep things dry so that we can bring you at least somewhat of a broadcast. So let me see what I can do. I can't look at your messages right at the moment because of how things are going. I'd like to welcome Bill Platt as our first member of the Runway DFW Moderation Federation. He's a new mod, and we've got several in the pipeline who I haven't yet had a chance to reply to with their acknowledgement, so stand by for that. But thank you, Bill, and thank you everyone who has volunteered to help out with the broadcast and keep things moving right along as we try to bring you something from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. I hope to be here until around noon local time today, but again, that's going to depend a lot on the weather. So let us see what we can see here. Another factor, a contributing factor, is that because of the visibility conditions and because the planes are taking off from the other side of this bridge, they get up in the clouds and we can't see them. Let's see. Am I in the right camera? Okay. Sorry, talking to myself. I've got yellow cloths absorbing clocks over my camera. Airlines flight 115 coming in from Honolulu. 777. It's coming from that general direction there. I can't see its landing lights yet. It's getting pretty close to it. The weather this morning, well, when I looked at it last night, it looked, oh, it's going to be okay. It's a little cloudy, and there's a chance of rain. But what we've got now is kind of not quite rain. Not quite certainly not dry. Rig my camera setup so that I can lift up the cloth that's over my phone, which gives me a little. I think there's going to be a lot of me hearing me talking to myself. Because frankly, there's not a lot to see that I can see. Regrettably, the mist is now intensifying. Now, I don't mind if I get that. That's not a problem. Equipment, that's another thing. Taking out another shower curtain in case I need to cover everything up here. There was some pretty intense rain here at the airport within the last couple of days. microphone while we're trying to get some other things going. I've got to pause for a second and get some gear into the car in case I have to make a hasty retreat. So hang on, if you would. I'm under the hood now of my setup, and you can see it's just kind of a generally gloomy day here today. So I'm gonna disconnect here for a moment while we go on standby and play some music and hang on. Let me see what I can do. Okay, thanks for bearing with me on Runway DFW. Hello again, everyone. Well, if this were real TV, this would be the time when somebody in the control room would say, just cue up a best of and let's go. So, but I'm
Live.
okay. So what I'm going to do now is try to show you a couple of planes, and I think, unless it gets really much better, I think we're going to have to pack it in. So I'm very, very sorry for that. And because of the conditions here, I do apologize for not being interactive with with all of you out there who are kindly joining us this morning. Let's see if we can get a couple more planes in at least. Maybe it'll clear up. Airlines Flight 12, which came in from Haneda a short time ago. We did not see its arrival. On account of me trying to figure things out. Wipe some of the water. From which a MD-11 departed while we were setting up. So let's see what's going on. My screen is not working on my phone because my fingers are too wet. I'm not looking for sympathy. Just trying to let you know what I'm kind of up against and trying to provide you with some coverage here. The plane to Austin is taking off at this time. I do see it rolling right there. It's in the air. Hotel balcony where there's room service and stuff. Wiping the wings off. Well, that's not going to happen today, so. We have a plane.
American 1664 is 2600 climbing on the Jasper.
The visibility, I think, is getting worse since I got here. The wind is coming out of the north today, and that's why all the departures are from the south, which means we don't get to see them very clearly. Another plane is in the air. hood here. Which is shielding our computer gear from wet weather. And Mark Anthony Dornellis just subscribed to Runway DFW. I have to be honest, Mark, I don't know why, because today is certainly far from our best effort. That's camera 2. Camera 1, let me see if I can make camera 2 do something. I think camera 2 is now pointing at the same thing. Sad Soul 2022. How in the world can pilots see anything? Well, you know, they don't have to see anything because they've got this little thing called radar. Maybe that's what I need. And Mrs. Runway DFW says, "You are fired." I feel like I'm being fired right now. Oh, we also have buffering. Oh no. Well, let's say hello to some of the folks who were who took time to check in. If I can make this thing work. Bill Caldum says, "Glad to see you're all safe, Walt. I've seen the video of I-30 in Dallas. Still raining here." That's in Arkansas. Yeah, it was very, very, very rainy. And Bill Platt, our new member of the Moderation Federation, says DFW looks free of rain, although something fierce is brewing over Louisiana. That's not good. And the problem is not rain so much here, it's just this mist and the fog, and the fact that the wind is coming from the other end of the runway than it normally does. So they have what they call reverse operations here today, so that the planes aren't taking off and landing right in front of us, which would at least give us a chance to see them. But this is about all we can see. That's a terminal back there somewhere. And you can hear a plane flying overhead. I'm looking up and I can't see it. And Ms. Wolf said, I just replied to your email. Ms. Wolf 13, she is a Moderation Federation applicant, and I will approve her as soon as I can. I don't think it'll be today because I don't think I'm going to be here much longer, actually. So I'm just going back through some of the older messages. Audio. Are we not on audio? Do we not? Oh, I know what the problem is. Hello. It looks like our audio board wasn't plugged in or wasn't connecting, and in all the chaos here I wasn't able to see it, so I apologize for that. Well, there goes our main camera. Okay, so now I think you can hear me. Bill says you can stay. We don't mind the soup and appreciate you digging in the trenches. I actually like it, gloomy. I like it too. I just want to be able to bring you something, and also to not jeopardize the gear which I use to bring you footage on a better day. So let's see if we can proceed here for a little bit. See what happens. And what happened was, technically, the software which I use was not, did not recognize the soundboard I was using. And so I saw the meter moving out of the corner of my eye, but it was actually the built-in microphone here on the computer. So that explains that. That's why you can hear me now and couldn't before. Hello to you, Fernando Scarmuchin. Glad to have you with us. And so now you'd probably like to see some planes. So let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can make planes happen. I really don't know, because it's really kind of damp. And again, I don't mind the dampness. It's the equipment I'm worried about. Well, maybe this will get me a new camera. Once this one goes to pieces. Okay, so this is the main camera. Okay, it's focused now. Let me wipe off my panning bar and other things around here. So what we're just generally looking at is planes coming out of the American Airlines hangar on their way over to the terminal areas. And as we said before, the airport was inundated by rain for several days. There were hundreds of cancellations and planes that had to go elsewhere. So let's see what we've got lined up at the other end of runway of the runway here. See, okay, there's a plane taking off for Mexico now, an American Airlines plane for Mexico City. It's a 737, and I don't know if I spotted it. There it is. Hey, we spotted a plane. Here's the shot we are kind of familiar with, the radar tower and the flag. You can see the flag is blowing from the opposite way it normally does. It's blowing the wind. It indicates that the wind is coming from the north, which is to the left of your screen. It is clearing up a little bit down there. Perhaps if we persevere. American Airlines Flight 7 which is off to Maui, 787-9 Dreamliner, is now somewhere we probably won't be able to see it. It's way down there, heading to the southern end of what is designated as runway 3-6 right when we have reverse operations in order, and I'm wiping off my camera gingerly again, so if you see that every now and again, that's just me being a little protective. And again, I have no way to see your messages right now because they are underneath. Well, I'll show you what's going on here. So here we are at DFW Founders Plaza. There is our equipment table, and it is covered with a very damp shower curtain right now. So there, our computer, our sound, our iPad, our hotspot, all underneath there. They're staying dry. Not so much your host, but that's okay. So anyway, we've got this this Dreamliner, and it's way down there. It is actually clearing just a bit. Can you see any planes down there? There's a plane. This one is coming in, I think. There's one going above us right now. It may have been a go-around. It was leaving at kind of a weird angle when I spotted it in the clouds. So I don't know what to make of that. I guess it could have been a plane that was taking off and just making a sharp bank. And I have no idea what this is. This looks like it was... Doesn't look like it took off. Looks like it went around. So I don't know what's going on. It looks like it was American Eagle Flight 3777, which was an ERJ 145, which could get up in the air that quickly. So it's possible. We were waiting for the flight to Maui? Okay, well, no. What's taking off now appears to be an A319 American Flight 1263 to Silao in Mexico. I can't see it with my eyes. I do now. There it is. As you can see over there, there is a bit of a lifting of the clouds, or at least they're moving out of the way for us. We can hear it, but we can't see it. And that was American Flight 3786 and Embraer 170 on its way to Grand Junction, Colorado. American Eagle Flight 3786. Now what about that Dreamliner? Oh, you know what we've got now? We've got coming in the flight from Dubai. This will be Emirates, a 777. I haven't spied it with my eyes yet, but it's coming from that general direction. So let's see what we can see. What's the worst thing? We don't see it. There it is, coming out of the Merc. Has it already landed? It's really far away. Even in good conditions, it's far from ideal to observe planes landing and taking off from the southern end of the western runways. And you had a bit of murk into the proceedings, and not ideal. But that ends a 15-hour and 26-minute flight from Dubai. I saw a plane back there. There it is.
So now we are clear to approach 35 Central, 35 left, and just to confirm the ground is going 35? 0.85 on top of the bridge, 1.85. 0.85 over the bridge.
American Flight 2046, 737-800 off to Salt Lake City. Pretty decent look at this Emirates plane now.
American 2981 is coming up on pulse. American 2981 needs to be clear, You're 4.5 control, heavy Boeing 767, runway 35 right.
Let's see if we can catch a FedEx flight, Flight 474, coming in from Lubbock, Texas. This will be an A300. We like to see the A300, don't we? And we almost never get to see FedEx planes on this side of the airport because their terminus is on the east side, kind of analogous to where we are on the west side. And so most of the FedEx traffic goes in and out on the east side. So Got ourselves a FedEx under the belt today. Well, here goes the Dreamliner, all down there. This is the one that's going to Maui. And simply the fact that we could see it for that long before it disappeared means that we are getting a bit of a clearance here. Oh, maybe we did have seen the worst of it. I would like to think that. A-list flyer Chris says we either get murk or heat haze here in Texas. There's no in between. And Bill Platt says he actually likes the reverse ops, getting to see the planes braking and leaving the runway. It's a change of pace. It would just be better if our position was somewhere more centrally located, like in the middle of the runway, as opposed to it being so far. Because this is a 2-mile runway, and if they take off from the other end, they start 2 miles away. Samuel Darmanian wants to know, where is this? And this is a Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. It is the home of American Airlines. There you can see the Emirates 777 headed to Terminal D, which is that big building in the mid-ground. The foreground is a hotel, but the terminal is in front of that, and that is where that Emirates plane on the left is headed. Wes says, hi Walton viewers, the planes look spooky on heavy cloud days. Yeah, but it's brightening considerably right now. I'm encouraged. I think I can take off my rain gear here. Not me, but my equipment's rain gear, because I don't think we're getting any more precipitation, at least not at the moment. So let me see if I can fold this back, and we'll go back to watching aircraft for a while, shall we? So I'm just kind of folding back my protective cover just enough so that if I have to put it back on, I will be able to. But yeah, it's kind of refreshing now. I think we can show you things.
Envoy 3727, ILS 35 right.
Kind of an interesting cloud pattern over there. I'm going to deviate from that. Now we can actually see the planes taking off, I think, if I can find them. Because I have to orient myself as far as where the planes are actually coming from, because normally, again, we are watching them take off from right opposite where I am. But yeah, it took that long to get in the clouds, so Might have a couple thousand feet of ceiling now. Still quite a chore to see planes actually coming in. Like that one. It's already landed by the time I can spot it. All right, let's see here. We've got a flight going out to Wichita, Kansas. It's an American Eagle flight. There it is. We'll actually see this one take off. Now you might ask, Walt, will we actually see, oh, I don't know, an A380 take off today? And you will if you're here later this evening, but we will not be here for the arrival of the British Airways flight from London, regrettably. That plane's coming in from Bloomington. It's American Eagle flight 5843, CRJ 900 ER. I'm guessing that's Bloomington, Illinois, not Bloomington, Indiana, or maybe Bloomington, Minnesota? I don't know. Well, we should soon be seeing American Flight 123, a flight from going out to Honolulu. This is not it, though. That was American Flight 1584, an Airbus A321 on its way to Las Vegas. And what have we here? Looks like a UPS plane that just got here from Boston. That's a Boeing 767. It arrived over on the east side 8 minutes ago. It's a 22-year-old plane dating back to August of 1999. There's the sun, Mr. Sun, trying to peek through. Maybe it'll burn off some of this cloud cover. So we're still waiting for the Honolulu flight to take off. I think this is our next departure. Or is that an arrival? It's going to be American Eagle flight 3897 and Embraer 175 on its way to Austin, Texas. See how long it takes for this to disappear. Oh. Playing hide and seek with us. There's that big 777 there on the left center of your screen as American flight 1174 is lining up to take off for Guadalajara in Mexico. It's the one there on the right behind that truck. Get photo bombed by that 767. If you've just joined us, it's a gray day here at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Been battling some moisture, but it seems to be clearing up. Here comes that 767 in from Boston, and there was another plane behind it. The arrival there is flight 1965 from San Antonio, American Airlines. And I think we've got the Honolulu Dreamliner coming up next. The Honolulu-bound Dreamliner, which if we, there it is, hiding behind the shed. or the sheds. That shot kind of gives an optical illusion of imminent disaster, doesn't it? Well, we don't often get to hear that sound from this end. The roar of a 777 takeoff. There is the East Tower at DFW Airport. And I would like to say hello to everybody who's on board this morning. This is kind of an unusual hour for us. Usually we're cleared out by now, but I have to work tonight in the office, which is unusual. So I've got to, when I finish up here, I'll be packing things up and driving about 90 minutes to my next assignment. So until then, we'll hang out together. And there goes a takeoff from the east side of the airport you saw behind in the background there. And are we not on mic again? Hello? Am I being heard? I can hear myself, but it doesn't mean you can hear me, I guess. But I think everything is as it should be. And Bill Platt notes that we're still getting new subscribers even despite the horrible weather. Well, you know, I think people like to see horrible weather, actually. You know, it makes things a little more interesting sometimes. It's just I'm not that well equipped currently to deliver content in horrible weather. But I think we've got things under control now. And I think we're about to see a landing. That's American Eagle flight 3554 coming in from Columbia, Missouri, I want to say. No, it seems must be further than that because that's a 2-hour and 35-minute flight. Columbia, South Carolina. It's number 175, landing on runway 36 left. Here's a departure. Another American Eagle plane. And that was American Eagle Flight 5764, winging its way to El Paso in Texas. Our next arrival, do we have any departures? We will in a minute. This is American Flight 1112 coming in from Phoenix. It'll be a Airbus A321. Next departure is American Flight 1617, which will be headed off to Kansas City. And that's it. They're way down there to the right of the sheds. This northerly wind is helping to dry me off. I got a little damp there during the rain or the misting episode. So again, this one's going to Kansas City, and then there will be a plane to Salt Lake City. So the order of things, it looks like American 1617 to Kansas City, a 737-800, what you see there, and then behind it, or to the side of it, will be another American Airlines plane, an A321, off to Salt Lake City. And here it goes, the Kansas City plane. Still not a terribly great amount of ceiling here, as you can see. Into your view will be coming a Frontier Airlines jet, which just landed from Las Vegas. There it is. Let's see if we can follow along with an arrival. They're really hard to see. Or should we watch the plane? Let's watch the plane taking off to... No, you know what? I'm going to have a third option for you, because it is easy to see. And there it is. It's a tri-jet. It's a UPS MD-11. The presence of which has not yet been announced on radar, but it's getting the tug. I'm seeing a little jittering in my picture. I think we may be the victim of radar blips today. Andreas Poole says hi to all from Germany as we start to get a little more moisture passing over us. Durrani T says this airport looks much bigger than LAX, Los Angeles, and it is in terms of size. It's the second biggest airport in terms of acreage in the U.S., surpassed only by Denver. They tell us that this airport's about bigger than the size of Manhattan in New York, the island of Manhattan. So take that, other airports. And now it's really starting to rain again. Okay, let me get my wiping cloths out. Let me cover up my phone screens. Let me weigh that down so that it doesn't blow away, and we'll try to keep going here as best we can as another sprinkle descends upon us. Don't know where this is going specifically. Typically the MDs go out to Louisville. We usually get a couple of those every morning. Now I see it's lit up, and yeah, it is going to Louisville. This MD-11, which dates back to 1997, age 25. And because of our current conditions, I won't favor you with the 1995 jingle today. It's always good to see these old, well-maintained aircraft doing useful work in their senior years. I can relate to that. I keep looking over my shoulder to the back of me, where the planes usually come in, and I realize, well, the planes aren't coming in there today, Walt. We'll deviate from this, see if we can bring you a takeoff here. Looks like Alaska Airlines. So back to our tri-jet. Sometimes the flight controllers have it depart from the west side, sometimes from the east side. We are on the west side of the airport. And the wetness has once again diminished here as we watch this big old jet begin to taxi. I do not see anything currently lined up at the southern end of runway 36 right, where the planes are taking off from this afternoon or this morning. So a bit of a lull here. Gotta get used to that at airports. Have this flurry of activity and then there's a lull. There's been a lot of canceled flights here. I haven't looked at the arrivals and departure board for today, but as I'm sure you realize, when flights get canceled, that has a kind of the ultimate domino effect on other flights and other flight crews and ancillary personnel. I can't even begin to think of what it must be like to try to schedule airlines and airplanes and the people who have to run them. There's got to be a certain amount of flexibility there, but you've also got to consider that you can't run these personnel into the ground. They've got to be able to rest. But that's hard for passengers to understand sometimes when they've got someplace to go. Personally, I've never really had any problem with having delays at airports or connections, unless I really have to go somewhere, which I generally don't. I like exploring airports and seeing different things. But some people don't have that luxury. They're on a plane to get somewhere and they're trying to get there fast. We've got another UPS flight coming in. This one from Newark, and there it is. It's another 767. So we'll get a better look at that plane pretty soon as it finds its parking space just to the south of us. Let me poke my head underneath the rain shield here. I see Bernard Juste. Hello, good morning from Spain, España. Hello to you, Bernard. Good to have you with us. Vince Las Vegas saying, we need one of those famous Brad Ward weather updates. Yes, the executive producer of Airline Videos Live did favor us with a very detailed weather report on I think it was Saturday's show. So it was very kind of him to stop by, as did Kevin himself. Poked his head in here and said hi to everyone, and everyone was very happy to see him. And we're talking about airport size again. Sad Soul 2022. I didn't know DFW was that big. We were talking about it being as big as Manhattan. Saying I thought ATL was the biggest. ATL is the busiest U.S. airport, and DFW is number 2 in that regard. Forrester Baseline says good morning to you. Good morning, I guess, to us, really. And good morning back to you. Ed Chilcote says good morning from Wilmington. Hello to you, Ed. Asphalt Gamer says, what's the time there now? Well, we have, for the convenience of everyone watching, we have a clock on the screen. That is Central Time in the U.S. So it's exactly 10:12:51. Now, if that doesn't match up with your atomic clock, that is because there is a delay involved in all digital broadcasts in order that we might have a smoother stream. So that is, there's a little delay while some of the bits and bytes build up. And that way, if we have any problems, there's a little time for the stream to catch up so that you don't miss anything or you don't miss too much. So we again are looking at a 767 that came in from Baston. It's a UPS plane. Kind of start to hear the whine of the engines now. And just to the south, you see the tail end of a classic MD-11 trijet, which will soon be winging its way to Louisville. There's another plane from the last century, built in October of 1998. And did I say this one was coming in from Boston? This one came in from Newark in New Jersey, in the New York metropolitan area. So I apologize for that misidentification. What packages are in there? Somebody's waiting for whatever's in there, right? It has quieted down quite a bit as far as traffic goes here at the moment. And I don't know, because I'm not usually here at this time of day, of the morning. I'm not sure if that's a normal feature of DFW Airport or if it has something to do with canceled flights or delayed flights. Did my scanner stop working? No, stuff. Didn't hear anything in a while. I thought, has everything shut down? There is this kind of cloud now descending on us. I don't know if it's hard. Maybe you can pick it up on the screen there. A very low hanging, ominous looking cloud. I have no meteorology skills, so can't tell you what that is or what it means or if I should be looking for a shelter right now. I don't know. Haven't heard any sirens though. The weather was so questionable today I couldn't even break up the Runway DFW satellite truck for your enjoyment. Mitchell Snyder is not too far away. Good morning. I'm on the east side of DFW Airport. Love the feed. Thank you, Mitchell. And Phil Tovey says, hi, all. Hope everyone is fine today. It's the afternoon in Warwick in Warwickshire in the UK. And Bill Platt says, those types of clouds are usually indicative of straight line winds. Oh, great. Super. Joshua Leclerc is chiming in. Good morning, Walt. Happy Tuesday. And Dasper, or Das PR, I'm not sure. Hello from 6 miles away. We've got several viewers who could just look out their window and see what's going on. But then there's Joshi 5144 who's saying good morning from Nepal, where they have some is my understanding that some of the airports in Nepal are pretty tricky to get into and out of. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm sorry if I've missed anyone's messages here today. If you would look at me right now, you would see my head is poked underneath a shower curtain, which is covering up our equipment. And looking at this picture as there's a plane taking off, so maybe we can get to that in a moment. BIGL Does Life says hello from southern Wisconsin. Hello to you. As does Petya Slavoska, who's probably not in southern Wisconsin. And Uncle Car Guy says hello from Indianapolis. Hey there, Uncle Car Guy. And did I get Geraldo Souza says, today here in Brazil, the sky is like Brigadier, great for air transport. There's Terminal D. Let's see if we can catch this plane taking off here. Oh, I think I just missed it. Where'd it go? There it is. That, my friends, was a rare JetBlue takeoff from this side of the airport, and I don't think we had a good enough view of it to see that it was the Brooklyn Nets livery of that A320. That's headed to Austin. I didn't even know JetBlue flew to Austin from here. I know they fly in and out of here, but I wasn't aware they had a route to Austin from DFW. We did have a couple of unexpected Austin stops here yesterday, as I saw on the Oz Gaming 9 live feed last night. We had a Virgin Atlantic plane in here, which we do not regularly get. And there was a second British Airways plane, which was also had been headed to Austin, but got kind of waved off. We poke our head over here a little bit. We'll see a plane coming in from Tucson. It's American Flight 1025, an Airbus A321. And we'll go back over here and keep track of this MD-11. We don't yet know if it's going to take off from over here or if they're going to direct it over to the east side. It always seems about 50-50 with that destination in this aircraft. Usually when I'm here earlier in the morning, the first MD-11 for Louisville takes off from this side, and then the second one is redirected over to the other side. It looks like this one's pointing north, and we'll be seeing it lifting off right away. And as you know, these tri-jets tend to go straight up almost. Hard to follow when you can't see it, but you sure can hear that thing. Now let's turn our attention over here to these clouds. Now the wind should be blowing them away from us, but I don't know if there's an upper level wind which would make that change. Here's the latest arrival. It's American Flight 1632 from Austin. That's a minibus. I was trying to switch up our other camera to get a view over there. When the planes take off from the east side, they go right by that tower, which makes for a nice shot if we can get it. Oh, part of our towel was covering the lens there. Uncle Car Guy saying there's a flood warning there, Runway DFW. That does not surprise me. There we go. A-list flyer Chris was saying that JetBlue was actually JFK to Austin yesterday and diverted to DFW. Now it's continuing the journey just now. So I thought that was a little unusual. Thank you for that clarification, A-list flyer Chris. And here's a weather report. Where's my weather music? Do I have weather music? I thought I did. Okay, here's the weather update, courtesy of Stuart Tingley. Good morning, everyone, from Moncton, New Brunswick. Walt DFW Airport radar weather says you should be mostly dry until about 11:15 Central Time, followed by some heavy rain. That is good to know because that's about 45 minutes from now. So I will have to take that into consideration as we plot out our next events here at Runway DFW. Thank you for that, Chris. That helps a lot.
This is Runway DFW.
It's fun!
Oh, it is fun. I like to have fun. Game show music, not so. Uh-oh. The reason I say is because it's looking very threatening now from the north, which is where the weather is coming from. It's like fog is rolling in. And it was looking much clearer there just a few minutes ago. And now it's looking very, very sketchy, I would say. And the dampness has returned. There's a plane up there somewhere. I can't tell the plane from the raindrops on my screen. Well, fun times at DFW Airport. We're at DFW Airport Plaza, or Founders Plaza, I should say. Sorry, I should know that by now. Here's a look at it. There's quite a few cars parked here for such a gloomy day, but a lot of people just kind of sit in their cars and watch the planes and listen to the radio or whatever. There you can see the wind. Now the camera is pointed towards the west right now, so you can see the wind is fairly steady from the north. And no, I'm afraid we're about to get hit here. Something's rolling in. Now we're looking to the east, and now we're looking to the north, and it's just, I'm afraid to point my camera in that direction because it's blowing rain into the camera lens. So I'm going to switch to our secondary camera here, camera 2, and I think I may have to put a bag over our primary camera. Let me give you a little standby here while I try to cover things up. So hang in there with us on Runway DFW if you would. Thank you. All right, well, everything is bagged up now. I am under a bag, or under a shower curtain actually. My secondary camera which is not exactly disposable, but it's not as valuable as my main one, is exposed to the elements. I'm trying to get it so that it's can give you a picture at least. But I think at this point, because of the conditions currently and because of what we expect to see here in the coming minutes, I think we're going to have to cut it short a little bit. So there's a kind of a wide look towards the south. That's not what's coming to us, that's what's already been over us. But there's a lot of dampness on the way here, so I guess that's going to about wrap it up for this. It's kind of an abbreviated, what we were hoping we'd go to noon today, which is still, what time is it, 10:36? We were hoping to give you about another 90 minutes of broadcasting, but it's just not going to work out today. So I hope that you can join us next time. Hit the, let me put on our music that we used to say goodbye to you anyway. My fingers are so damp that the screen is not working. Can we see this plane going up? There's the bag, there's the shower curtain which is covering us. Guess you can't really see much of anything, really. I should take that banner out of the screen. So anyway. Wow, that was loud. I didn't have my finger on the button. Anyway, that is all for us today from DFW International Airport in Texas. My name is Walt. You know, this wasn't our best work here at Runway DFW, but we'll be back soon with more stuff. Hopefully the weather will be better. We'll have more planes to see, and we will be back with you then. So thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button. Well, subscribe and like, as we say, and we'll be back soon. And happy contrails to you. Until we meet again, so long everybody from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport.
Stay tuned for Gomer Pyle next on most of these CBS stations.
We hope you liked it, too late to change it now.